Hello everyone, this is Vivian, and today it's Halloween. So I figured I'd dress up. I kind of dress up always, but just more than usual, actually a costume. Yeah, so obviously I'm supposed to be a witch, a glamorous, fancy witch. I even have my wand. It lights up. It's actually one of those Harry Potter wands, and this is from my senior year of college when I did my senior theater performance piece, and they gave these wands to us. So that's where this is from. I've kept it this whole time. So yeah, it's fun. But so in light of Halloween, I actually wanted to talk about, the prevalence of evil and fear in this world, because it's really everywhere. And especially what came out earlier in the week or late last week with Dr. F. Fraudchi and, his experiments on dogs and on orphaned babies. So that's some really horrific stuff. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can look up online Fraudchi, and of course you would use his real name, and experiments on dogs, particularly on beagles, as well as experiments on orphans in New York City. And this is some horrific shit. So honestly, whether or not this is real, whether it actually happened, these particular things, I think it's irrelevant, because we all know that this kind of evil, disgusting, really beyond evil shit does actually happen in this world. So yeah, but we're seeing so much evil now. I feel like the evil is just increasing more and more. It feels like every day. And it's exhausting to deal with. For me, it's very exhausting to deal with. It really actually drains my energy when I have to, see what's going on, see all of the evil and, experience it, maybe not even firsthand, but just from hearing the stories of other people, and just, even secondhand, basically. It's still draining and exhausting for me, and it makes me really sad. And yeah, we're so evil thrives on fear. It needs fear. It wants fear. It derives its power from producing fear. And, obviously I've talked about fear before on this channel, and facing your fears if you can, and just how a lot of fear is really unnecessary, and it keeps us back from things that we can do, it keeps us back from our potential. But, evil has always existed here, obviously. It's existed for my entire life, entire time that I've been here. It certainly has. But within the past year and a half, I really do feel like there's been some kind of escalation. And the biggest problem is that because people are in fear of whatever it is, there are so many things, right? So many things that people are in fear of. But because they're in fear, they're allowing the evil to happen. They're complicit in the evil by just, ignoring what's happening, or by complying with what they're told to do, and just, whatever it is. So I've seen a lot of people who, when it comes to the revelation of these particular experiments that fraud chi did, a lot of these people, who, by the way, are, dog lovers, and they have dogs, and some are animal rights activists, and they're not really seeing a problem here, because they think that this is some, that this was some like right-wing conspiracy or whatever to frame fraud chi, which I don't know, right? But they're refusing to even acknowledge this, that fraud chi could possibly do anything like this, because he's a hero in their eyes with all of what he's done within the past year and a half. He was also named the sexiest man alive, like, earlier this year, which, grab your puke buckets, people. I know I definitely needed a puke bucket when I heard that one, but that's besides the point. Yeah, so it does have a lot to do with cognitive dissonance, and people just not wanting to believe that their hero could possibly commit such horrendous acts. And it's also like, the logical question should be, if this person committed such horrible acts on dogs, but then also on humans too, right? Like the orphan babies, then what is he, and what are other people who are also involved in this whole thing, pandemic, scamdemic, whatever you want to call it, this convid cult, the cult leaders, the leaders of the convid cult? What else could they have done? What are they doing to people, to humanity, right? And somehow people, many people fail to see the problems here. But anyway, I want to say how even if you look at the pop culture in our society, there's a lot of evil and fear all around. Like, that's why we have horror movies. Horror movies depict evil creatures or entities, acts of evil people committing horrible things, violence, all that sort of thing. And horror movies are very popular, and people like that. They want to experience fear and to be scared. And I like horror movies, good horror movies. I don't like the gory horror movies. I'm into the atmospheric ones, and also psychological horror. I'm into that. Not like, Friday the 13th or whatever, any of those like slasher ones. I think that's dumb, and also needlessly violent, just things like that. Body horror, no. But I do like a good horror movie of the kinds that I just mentioned, the ones that I'm into. And in my experience, what happens is, you're watching the horror movie. I'm watching the horror movie, and, suspense builds. They do this through very manipulative means, using music too. The music, the score plays a big role in building the suspense a lot of the time. And so you're watching, the suspense builds, there's this tension, you're getting this adrenaline rush where, like, something pops out of nowhere, and like there's just a scare in the film, and it's almost like this satisfaction that you receive. And you can also apply this to like roller coasters and things like that. Like, people really do like to be scared. We also, of course, have haunted houses around this time of year, which I've gone to a few back in my day, before the craziness of the past year and a half. I have gone, and they're fun. They usually don't scare me though. I'm just like, you're all actors and you're trying to scare people, and like, it's cool, it's fun, I appreciate it and I like it, but it just usually doesn't scare me. So kind of can be a little bit difficult to scare. So, but that's not a bad thing, right? Because I'm at least not easily buying into all the fear porn and fear propaganda. And that's another thing that I wanted to say, is that YouTube, social media platforms, the internet, they all also thrive on fear and drama and conflict. Like, look at all of the fear porn channels. And, obviously not just on YouTube, there's, of course, InfoWars, Alex Jones, all of that. He's no longer on YouTube, I think, for a few years, right? And it's everywhere, like BitChute, all of the alternative platforms. It's all over the place. And a lot of people are, people who are fear porn content creators are creating fear in many other people, saying like, oh, this bad, awful, horrible thing is gonna happen, or this one and this one, and like, oh my god, the world's gonna end. And yeah, it's just not helpful. It's not helpful, because like, I used to a while ago watch and buy into the fear. I didn't fully buy into it. I was like, they keep saying the same shit's gonna happen already for many years with a lot of the things, and like, it doesn't happen. And I'm not against being prepared for things, but just there's a difference between being prepared and just just living in fear and like hoarding a bunch of stuff, preparing your underground bunker for the end of the world, that type of shit. If you do that, cool, like, that's great. But personally, I'm being very honest, like, if something does happen of the kind of stuff that fear porn content creators are saying is going to happen, I personally have no interest or desire in actually living through shit like that. So I'm not about to go and get some underground bunker and store stuff for like years on end, because I don't see any point. I don't see any, just this is my personal opinion. You can feel free to disagree, and that's fine. But for me, I just, nope, I'm good without all of that. So, that's just me. But yeah, like, just so you have, of course, the unawakened people or so-called sheeple, you have them in fear of certain things. And then you have the so-called awakened people or conspiracy theorists, truthers. A lot of them are in fear of other things. And so just a bunch of people, the majority of humanity, is in fear of pretty much everything. Like I said in my previous video, I touched on how some people that I personally know are actually afraid to go walk in the grass. And I'm talking about with like shoes and pants on, fully covered. They're afraid to be in the frickin' grass. Like, I mean, come on. Does it get any more pathetic than that? Does it get any more pathetic than being afraid of breathing fresh air? I don't think so. But hey, a lot of people are afraid of that. And in fact, I think it's been Halloween every day for the past year and a half, as far as I can tell, because I see many people, most people walking around with, masks on. So, that used to just be for Halloween, but anyway, yeah, so like, yeah, of course we have Halloween and the entire month of October, and it's like all supposed to be very spooky and also fear-based in a way. Like you have all these scary decorations, which I'm not against. I like that. I like a spooky aesthetic. That's fine. But again, it's just a lot of people in October are watching scary movies. It's very popular, particularly during the month of October and for Halloween, to watch horror movies. And also, certain people conduct rituals. Certain people who believe in certain things and who practice certain things, they that they do conduct rituals during the month of October. They conduct rituals throughout the year, but from what I understand, in October, there's quite a few very significant ones. So, yeah. So, and we're told that on Halloween, that's supposed to be, October 31st and into November 1st. That's supposed to be when the veil is the thinnest, right? Between the realms and the dimensions, right? And so, whether that's actually true or not, and it very well could be, but there's a lot of sort of energy going into fear in the month of October. And again, listen, I like October, I like Halloween, I like dressing up, I like spooky things. I just like October for, the weather and the how the nature is with the leaves and everything. But we have to admit that there is something going on where Halloween is being used for negative things and not just positive things. Also with the candy and everything, with that being given to children, something that is not at all good for them, that's going to harm their health. And, that's encouraged, and it's a tradition on Halloween. And I used to do that too when I was little, because I didn't know any better. I was like, hey, that was my programming. That's the programming for a lot of people, I believe, right? At least in the United States, for a lot of children, like even in school and everything. Yeah, but actually, what is it with all of the holidays, essentially, all of the major holidays that we have here, and with the promotion and consumption of so-called treats that are really not good for you. Actually, they're very harmful to your health, like all these very sugary and high carb processed foods that harm everyone's health. And this is like a tradition on many holidays to give this out as gifts, or like, it's considered to be normal to do, right? Obviously, I don't partake in any of that. I do not eat candy at all, period, and haven't for many years, because I know it's bad for you, and I have a very sensitive, like my body is just very sensitive to various things, so I am very careful with what I consume. But that actually leads me back to the horror movies, is that even though I am a fan of certain horror movies, I used to watch horror movies much more often, like a few years ago when I was younger. But I've had to like cut back on that because I can't handle it as much. Like, I'm more sensitive. I've just gotten more sensitive as I've gotten older. I've gotten more sensitive to these things where it kind of drains my energy when, even if it's a good movie and I enjoy it, whether it's a horror movie or not. This happens even too with very like dark and intense dramas, where even though if it's a good film, it's well done, it will drain my energy because it's I'm getting involved in it, and it does take up your energy. So yeah, so I can't even watch like horror movies how I used to. I used to watch them, not every day. I never watched movies every day. I didn't never had time for that. But now I hardly watch anything. I barely watch anything. I don't even know if I watched any horror movies at all this month. And we're already here at the end of the month, October 31st, on Halloween. And I guess I missed out on all the horror movie marathons. So, I don't watch TV anyway. The only way that I watch things really in recent times is through streaming. If I watch a movie or a series, which is I do on rare occasion, and I'm very selective with what I watch. But yeah, I've been busy though. I've actually wanted to watch maybe like 1 or 2 horror movies here and there, but I've just been busy with other things, so I didn't have a chance. And I've already had a difficult time with my energy this month. And so yeah, there are just certain times when my energy just feels low for whatever reason. Even if I'm getting enough rest and everything. And I will hear sometimes that I'm not the only one going through it, that it's a thing happening in the collective where other people are also experiencing low energy. So yeah, it makes me wonder with October, and I've heard people say that October is just like a huge energy harvesting month because of everything that goes on, but that's besides the point. I do think that a lot of people are sort of very miserable in their regular daily lives, and they're also bored in many ways, I feel like, right? I feel like a lot of people are bored, especially within the past year and a half, with in a lot of cases not being able to go out for much of that time. And so, yeah, so they want some excitement. You know what I mean? So, fear, the adrenaline rush provided by fear actually, it does provide some excitement for them, I feel like, in a way. So for me, I'm like super introverted, so I'm fine not going out. And I really haven't gone out much the past year and a half, and don't really have any desire to, because of the absolute fucktardery that is going on that I am witnessing. And so far in New Jersey, it's not yet required to show your shot papers to get in anywhere, like, in terms of going out, like a restaurant or any of those types of places. It's not required yet. But like I said, when the one time that I like really actually went out to like a real, big sort of event in August, I saw the absolute fucktardery firsthand of people sitting at their tables in the restaurant with their masks on. And so yeah, I think I've said this in some previous videos, but I just really can't deal with that. I just don't even want to. I don't want to see it. I'd rather just remove myself from that shit and just, be home or wherever it is that I am, just be out in nature. That's much more, it just makes you feel much better than seeing that type of shit. So yeah, and like I feel like there are some people who think and say that we need evil for a balance here in this world, because there's good and there's evil. But I don't know, like, really, like, if you look up what fraud she did supposedly, again, I personally cannot confirm, I wasn't there, but there's a high possibility that this is very true. And again, regardless, things like this do happen. Evil shit like this does happen. So if you look up, if you're not aware of this and you look it up and you read what was done, do we need shit like that here? Do we really need such evil acts? Like, do we really? Like, because I don't think so. I do not think that we need that kind of shit here, because I think it's necessary for not for everything to be easy, right? Because that would be boring if everything was just like, woo, smooth sailing all around. But like, if we experience difficulties, right, and there could be bad people and bad things, but evil, like, again, what I just mentioned of fraud, she and also the rest of the convid cult leaders, we don't need that kind of shit. I really don't think so. And because that just goes like beyond, that's like, this is like demonic activity. Like, it really is, okay? It's just beyond bad. So I do think that we need to have good, and like, if you want to, I don't know what else to call it. I'm just going to call it bad, okay? But not evil. So like, let's say, okay, so if everyone is always just, everything is just smooth sailing and everyone is just super happy and joyful, like all the time, 24/7, then like, how would we know what true happiness and joy really is if we then don't also experience some more difficult or sort of worse situations and challenges, and just if we don't experience sadness and all of that. Like, I'm not talking about depression is a little bit too far. I think we could do without depression, but I'm just, being sad is not the same as being depressed or having clinical depression. But so there does need to be a sort of balance there, and it can't be all one thing or all the other. But the prevalence of evil is too much these days, especially. I think, again, I think because it's so widespread, and now they're coming for the children too with the shots, right? It was approved for 5 to 11 last I heard, 5 to 11-year-olds, and just all of the force and coercion in terms of people having to get this to keep their jobs. And again, people don't have to. They can stand up. There are actually things that people can do. They can take a stand and they don't have to cave in. But many people don't know that they don't have to cave in. So they think that they have to. They're mandated to, which that's not even a law. Mandates are not even laws. So most people don't know that. So they're just going to cave in. Their boss tells them, to get it, to keep their job, they're going to do. A lot of people have walked away from their jobs too, though, but more have actually caved in. And I personally know someone who just caved in, who I was, hoping that she wouldn't. And I was thinking that she wouldn't, because she was totally against this. And, she really didn't want to do it. She really didn't want to. And so I thought that she wouldn't, right? But she caved in on Thursday. So what's today? Today's it's Sunday. So on Thursday, because she's a New York City employee, and they had the mandates to for the city, all city employees, they had to get it by Friday, this past Friday, in order to keep their jobs. And from what she told me herself, a lot of people on Friday at the office, they quit. Not everyone, of course, but from what I understand, she told me a lot of people did. And so unfortunately, she did not, even though she actually has the means to quit and to get another job, and also possibly even to move to another state like Florida, where they don't have this going on. And so, but she didn't. She stayed, and she got the shot against her will. She's gonna have to get the second one, and then all the boosts Can you imagine, right? Like, it's never gonna end. It's just never gonna fucking end. If, you know, I already saw on Yahoo a headline, because I have a Yahoo email. So, you know, when I log into my email before I log in, I see the headlines on the Yahoo homepage, and they're absolutely freaking ridiculous. Don't even get me started on those. But yeah, I already saw a few days ago them saying that immunocompromised people, they can now get their fourth. Yep. It's really never gonna end when people give in to the fear of losing their jobs. And, you know, it's really evil to make people think that they have no other choice and no other option. It's almost like holding a gun up to their heads in some cases, in a lot of cases, because, you know, perhaps some people are in more difficult situations and circumstances than my friend who actually caved in. And, you know, they maybe, you know, they can't move, and they don't have the means to quit and to get another job in, you know, in the amount of time that they would need to in order to support themselves and their families. So, but like, I just don't understand. What came to mind for me was, if somebody's boss told them that in order for them to keep their job, they had to have sex with him or with her, whoever the boss is. And so would people be okay with that, right? I think a lot of people would not be okay with that too. They'd be screaming and crying and yelling, "Oh, me too, hashtag me too," and all of that. But when it comes to injecting something into, like, into their bodies, like into their veins, into their bloodstreams, they don't see how that's a problem. Like, I don't know. Okay, I don't know, but I'm at a loss for words, and I'm very upset that the last person who I thought was normal, she caved in. The last person who I know in my real life, I mean, because I, at this point, know absolutely nobody in my real life, from like friends and pretty much most family, with the exception of my parents. Like, nobody else from my real life, people who I've met in person and interacted with in person and not online. You know, like, that nobody, like, they've all gotten it a long time ago, most of them. And, you know, this friend, she just got it, like I said, and it's very unfortunate. She caved into the fear. So it's very, very unfortunate. But yeah, this is our world, and I don't even know what to say anymore. I don't mean for the video, I mean like in general, like period. I don't even know. Many times I'm at a loss for words. I'm just absolutely exhausted by all of this. I really am. And I really wish that I could just wave my magic wand and for all of this to disappear, and for everything to be wonderful and magical and beautiful and pure, and to make, I wish I could just wave this to make all the evil go away, all of the sick, disgusting evil that is weighing us all down, weighing everything down. It's just, it's, it's taking all of the joy, sucking all of the joy out of life lately, I think. Yeah, but, yeah, anyway, I wanted to also say some more things about Halloween. So one of the things about Halloween that I do really like I said, is dressing up. It basically makes it acceptable to dress up. So, and obviously I'm someone who likes to dress up. I like to dress up every day. You know, I might not wear like this hat every day, but maybe I might if I felt like it. You know, there are some days where I feel like putting this on or putting my tiara on or whatever it is. And just like, I don't think that we need a holiday, some official holiday, in order to be able to dress up or do what we want. Like, if you want to dress up, you should be able to dress up however you want, like any day of the year, any day and every day. Like I said, like I do. And that doesn't necessarily mean wearing a costume or wearing a ball gown, although I have done both in some of my videos. Like, I literally have worn an evening gown and also some, you know, costumes as well. But that's not what I mean. Like, you should just do whatever you want, right? Like, dress however you want to, and not how society expects you to. So, because I already know that if I went out like this in this getup, like maybe not the dress and gloves, but certainly with the addition of the hat and the wand, I already know that if it was not Halloween or not October, like just any other time of the year, people would look at me like I'm completely crazy and insane. And I'm like, whatever at this point, right? Because I think that I'm the sane one here in many cases. And probably if you're watching this video, you are sane as well. The majority of our world, unfortunately, is insane. And yeah, but you should just really, you should have fun every day in whatever way you can and enjoy yourself, and don't wait on any holiday. Like, it's all these holidays are so dumb in my opinion. Again, like I said, there are things that I like about Halloween. That's my favorite one. If I had to pick a favorite holiday, I'd say Halloween is the only one that I enjoy really at all. And yeah, like, I mean, it's just stupid because, like, I mean, think about it. Valentine's Day, like, what? You need a holiday to express your love for people that you're supposed to love every day? I don't know about that, right? Like, why do you need a day or a holiday for that? And then also, you know, you have Mother's Day, Father's Day. What, you need a day and an official holiday to show your appreciation and love for your mother or your father? I mean, I don't know. Like, that's just, it's ridiculous to me. So many things just don't make sense to me. And like more and more. Okay. But anyway, I'm gonna put my wand down. It's fun though. I do like how it lights up and glows. It's definitely fun, and I enjoyed reading the Harry Potter series when I was younger. That was a big thing when I was younger. But let's see what my witch's brew says today. And by witch's brew, I mean tea, but you know. So today I have vanilla peppermint. That's one tea. It's a vanilla peppermint combination. Then I have ginger and chamomile. So I only have 3 today. It's kind of on the lower side for me. It's good, you know, it's very minty and a lot of vanilla flavor, you know. Also some spice from the ginger. And I need the chamomile because it's late, so I need to go to bed soon. But anyway, okay, so let's see what this says. This says, love is the highest of all virtues. And I love this one. That I agree. So, yeah, love is really the opposite of fear, but many people are very obviously acting out of fear rather than love. And when people wish death on other people for disagreeing with them, you know, that's acting out of fear, you know, because the people, people who wish death on those who haven't gotten this, they're in fear of being infected by the ones who haven't gotten it, even though they themselves have gotten it and everything should work perfectly right and they should be protected. But hey, I don't know. Logic and common sense has gone out the window. Anyway, what's the next one say? The next one here says, your greatest strength is love. Oh my God, just so much love today on Halloween. I almost feel like it is Valentine's Day. But no, I actually hate Valentine's Day. Even though I did a video on for Valentine's Day. It wasn't really for Valentine's Day, but you know. Okay, so oh, that's what I wanted to say actually. So I'm gonna put this down for a second, but like how there's so much negativity, you know, obviously evil, fear, that's all negativity, and the opposite of love. So I just wanted to talk about how my most viewed video on my channel thus far is the one with the title, Govern Me Harder, Daddy. And it is a suggestive title, and I know that when I uploaded the video and made the title, like, we all know what that implies, right? And it implies, in my opinion, I'm not judging anyone, right? But it implies unhealthy sexual relations, okay? So, because, you know, someone is dominating and someone is submitting, and it's not like, you know, it's not like, you know, because I knew that this proves my point that people are so attracted to negativity and to darkness, because it's just it's dark sexuality rather than, I guess, what you would call light or loving sexuality. So imagine if I had titled the video like love me tenderly, my one true love. You know, I already know that video would not get nearly as many views, because I know how it is on the internet. I know there's a lot of pervs, and I absolutely do not want any pervs or any people like that on my channel. But the reason why I called that video Govern Me Harder, Daddy, it's about the shot mandates in New York City that started in August. That's what it's about. And I called it Govern Me Harder, Daddy, because I was reading Facebook comments and people were saying that those mandates don't go far enough. They want more control. They want to be governed harder, right? Okay. But so I knew that title would get more people to see my video, most likely. And I'm trying to do what I can to try to get through to people as much as I can, if it's even possible at all. I'm not necessarily trying to wake anybody up anymore at this point because people are so far gone, but just maybe, drop some hints, maybe get some sparks going in people's brains and like getting the gears turning up here to see that certain things are very bad and that we shouldn't do them, we shouldn't follow them, we shouldn't comply with them. So I guarantee you, even though that video has over 600 views, which for me, for my very small channel, that's a lot for me. I guarantee you that most people who clicked on it did not watch the whole video. They maybe watched just the first few minutes or something, or just like a minute or two. Once they realized what it was actually about and that it wasn't about what they thought it was going to be about. And that's the sad thing. That actually really saddens me. That does sadden me a lot. But this is our world. It's just, again, the darkness is everywhere. The negativity, the evil, the fear. And I actually know that my most positive videos on my channel, where I title it some, just positive things like hope and everything, just like good things that happen, those get the least amount of views. So again, that just goes to show. And I know that this is the case for other channels as well, and just other things on the internet. It's always the negative things that get the most attention. And I think we need to stop doing that. We need to stop paying so much attention to the negative shit and focus more on the positive shit, as hard as it can be. Well, if it's positive, it might not be shit, just the positive things. Yeah, so this video has probably been long enough, longer than I had intended it to be. But I do have another quote to read here. So let's see what the last one says. Okay, so this one says, find strength in knowing that you can make a difference in the world. Okay, so yes, I like this one as well. And I believe that everyone can make a difference in their own way. And sometimes it's just about the energy that you exude, and also just not giving into fear, not being in a state of fear. Obviously, not being evil and not being complicit in evil, not complying with evil, not aiding and abetting evil, right? Okay, just try to be as positive as you can in whatever way you can. I know it's really hard. I'm like I said, I'm really over pretty much everything at this point. I said that in my previous video, and it's true, but I still try to do what I can, and also to have fun. I dressed up because it's fun for me, and perhaps it's fun for other people, for them to dress up themselves, and also just to see a fun costume, the glitz and the glam and the eccentricity might be fun for you, right? As opposed to if I just came on here in like sweatpants and a t-shirt. That would probably be pretty boring. I don't know. I don't even own sweatpants, so that probably would never happen. But just saying, nothing against anyone if they wear that, but that's just personally not my style or aesthetic. So it's probably pretty obvious. But yeah, you know, I try to do what I can. Not just with my videos, you know, because I have a very small channel. So, but like, you know, I do my best personally to not give in to the state of fear, not be in fear. I try to, although I do struggle with anxiety, I try to not give in to that as well, because that doesn't do anybody any good. It doesn't do me any good either. So, yeah. Well, it's been nice talking to you all this Halloween. Halloween is generally a pretty memorable day for me. And I remember what I was doing last year on Halloween and the previous year and the year before that. So 2018, 2019, 2020. I remember what I was doing on Halloween and where I was. And 2018, 2019, that feels like, oh my gosh, like a lifetime ago. But yeah, I didn't have a YouTube channel last year, like in the previous years. I mean, like I had a channel. I had my channel like since 2016, but I just had never posted anything until December of 2020. So yeah, because I was doing other things and I don't know, I never posted any videos before that. So this is my first time making a Halloween video. And yeah, it's been nice and fun. And I hope you got something out of this video. And thank you so much for watching. And you will see me next time.